Hello friends, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and today we're going to review the Samsung Galaxy J. So the Samsung Galaxy J2 is a successor of the Samsung Galaxy J1, and this is a budget smartphone priced 8499. The phone comes with a 4.7-inch QHD display. It's powered by a quad-core chipset which is an Exynos processor from Samsung, coupled with 1GB RAM, 8GB internal storage, and this runs Android 5.1.1 Lollipop along with a 5 megapixel rear camera and a front facing 2 megapixel camera. So that was the spec aspect of the Samsung Galaxy J2. Now let's go into the detailed aspect. So first step, let's see the design and build quality. So design wise, you can see the Samsung Galaxy J2 does not offer anything new. It looks and feels just like any other Samsung device. You can see the design language is same as that of the J5 and J7 which you reviewed previously, and it also has a lot of resemblance with the J1. You can see the curved edges, and there is a chrome finishing all around the edges, and you can see the matte finish rear panel which actually looks pretty good. Now the arrangement of the camera, the speaker and the flash unit along with the branding, everything looks very similar to any other Samsung phone. So in terms of the design, there isn't anything new offering in the Samsung Galaxy J2, but the build quality looks pretty good. The matte finish rear panel looks slightly premium, although not really the best quality, but it definitely looks pretty good overall. On the front panel, you can see the home physical button and the back button, as well as multitasking. The front facing camera, the power key is on the right side, while the volume rocker key is on the left side. The 3.5mm audio jack on the top, the micro USB charging slot at the bottom. So overall, it's a fairly good looking phone. We can't say it's one of the best looking phones out there, but it's a fairly good looking phone, and it's a pretty compact phone at 4.7 inches, and it's not really that thick. So overall, using the device is pretty good. It's a compact phone. Although we expected Samsung to have a better design in their phones, it's now looking more or less very similar to any other Samsung phone. So Samsung needs to step up into the design segment with a slightly better design overall. So overall, in the build quality, it's a pretty good phone, and the design wise we would say nothing new to offer by Samsung. So that was the design and build quality aspect. Now moving on to the display. So this phone comes with a 4.7-inch QHD display. It's a 960 by 540 pixel display, and the display is a Super AMOLED panel. So that's one reason this display looks pretty good. Even though it's just a QHD panel, we can see that there are HD displays in this price point. We have the Redmi 2 Prime, the Euphoria, all come with HD display. This is just a QHD panel, but then the display is pretty vibrant and colorful thanks to the Super AMOLED panel. The viewing angles are also pretty good. The overall touch response also seemed decent, although not really the best. And overall, we would say the display is pretty good on this device, even though this competition offers HD display. The QHD panel on the Samsung Galaxy J2 definitely is a decent display in this price point. Now talking about the software and performance. So this phone runs Android 5.1.1 Lollipop, and you can see the UI is exactly similar to what we see on other Samsung phones, the J5 and J7. You can see Samsung has included a couple of useful apps like this S Manager, Smart Manager. We have the battery, the storage, RAM, and also the device security, along with option to manage your data. You can see ultra data saving mode is also included, and there is also S Planner, other apps like S Planner, calculator, and tools like memo, voice recorder are also included. So overall, it's a fairly good looking UI, not really feature rich UI in terms of the customization, and sadly Samsung has removed the theme store from this device. You can see there is only a few themes, only 4 of them. There is no option to download more themes, so that's kind of disappointing, because J5 and J7 does have this option to download more themes. So this has limited customization options, so in that way this is not really that great. But then I can see the custom notification center. You can edit this notification center, and also the settings menu is also customized one. Again, settings menu doesn't look the same way in what we saw on the J5. Again, there are lots of things missing here. But overall, for a budget smartphone, it's a pretty decent UI. Now talking about the performance side, this phone runs on a quad-core Exynos chipset from Samsung with a 1GB RAM, and this chipset is a decent performing chipset. And in day-to-day task, it will not have any issues but when you push the device harder to say multiple tasks like gaming, heavy gaming, and heavy RAM consuming tasks, then you can definitely see some lag here and there. But for casual usage, you don't really see any issues. The quad core chipset performs pretty well, and the overall performance is pretty good. There's no major lag or issues in casual usage, and the gaming performance is pretty decent, although not really the best. We have done a gaming performance review of this device, and you can see the performance, and it's a fairly decent device for gaming, since this just have only 8 gigs of internal storage. That's one really big issue. You cannot install apps directly onto the SD card, although there is support for SD card. You are limited with 8 gigs of internal storage, out of which around 4 gigs available in the first boot. So installing too many games and apps might not be really possible, although you can definitely move some apps to the SD card. You cannot directly install apps on the SD card, so that's one big issue. And this device runs this device supports 4G LTE, so you can use your 4G SIM card, and the overall experience was also pretty decent. We did achieve a decent speeds on this device. So in the overall software and performance side, we would say this is a pretty good device in the software and performance side. No major lags or issues, but then if you compare it with the competition, that's where this device might not be really good. If you take the performance of the Redmi 2 Prime and the Euphoria, which are priced lower than this device, those comes with the Snapdragon 410 quad core chipset and 2 gigs of RAM. This is having only 1 gigabyte RAM, so that's where the difference comes in. Overall, if you're looking for casual usage, this device will live up to the expectation and will not have much of an issue with lags or other issues. So that was the software and performance side. Now moving on to the camera. So the camera is one aspect a lot of users look at when you buy a new smartphone, and you can see this is the camera interface of the Samsung Galaxy J2, and you can see there are lots of modes included. You even have the Pro mode. There is panorama, continuous shot, beauty face, sound and shot, and the sports mode. So feature wise, this is pretty good device in terms of the camera interface. So you can see there is no HDR included in this device. Now the rear camera is a 5 megapixel shooter with autofocus and LED flashlight, and a front facing camera is 2 megapixel. We have already done the detailed camera review of this device and found this camera to be quite disappointing, because in this price point we have a lot of devices with 8 and even 13 megapixel rear cameras, and in this price point Samsung is offering a 5 megapixel shooter. That's something a lot of users might not be really interested in, because if you're looking for a smartphone with a great camera, the Samsung Galaxy J2 is not really the best device to choose, because the camera performance isn't really consistent and does have color issues. It's not really sharp images. The colors look really washed out at a lot of times, and the overall clarity also is not comparable to the competition with the likes of Redmi 2 Prime and Euphoria, which do provide great cameras. So that's where the Samsung Galaxy J2 is lagging behind. So the camera performance overall, we would say, is not really the best, and this device can record videos only in 720p. That's another disappointing aspect. While most of the other devices now supports 1080p, that is full HD recording. So overall in the camera aspect, we would say the Samsung Galaxy J2 disappoints on two aspects. One is it does have only 5 megapixel camera, and the camera performance also is not that great. Again, the selfie camera also not really the best. It's just a 2 megapixel shooter, not really great clarity when compared to the 5 megapixel being offered on the competition. Now moving on to the battery performance. So this phone comes with a 2000 mAh battery. Now the battery performance of this device was pretty good. Overall, we tested the battery with a 4G LTE SIM card, and with social apps and other email apps running in the background, we could achieve at least 1 day of usage easily. So this device does have pretty decent battery overall, and we don't really find any issue with the battery performance. So if you're a casual user, you can definitely get 1 day of usage on this device with this 2000 mAh battery. So the battery performance is not an issue on this device, and the performance is pretty good. Now talking about the pricing, this is priced 8499. That's a steep pricing considering the specs to the competition. Now you can see, if you compare with the nearest competition, which is the Redmi 2 Prime, the Euphoria, even the Lenovo A6000 Plus, all coming with around the 4.7 to 5 inch displays. All have HD displays. They are powered with 2 gigs of RAM and the Snapdragon 410 processor with better cameras, 8 megapixel and 5 megapixel combo. and pretty overall better experience. Now, where does the Samsung Galaxy J2 offer better experience? One is the software. This is the latest Android, that's 5.1.1, so that's one good thing. And apart from that, even if you don't have really great specs on this device, what you get with the Samsung Galaxy J2 is the Samsung's trust and also better servicing and warranty. After sales warranty is very important, so that's one area where the Samsung Galaxy J2 beats the competition with the likes of Redmi 2 Prime and UU4, which does not have the sales and support of Samsung. So if you're looking for a solid budget phone, which is not really the best in terms of the spec, but you want a great branding and also better after sales warranty, then the Samsung Galaxy J2 is a pretty good buy. But otherwise, we would say you should be considering the Redmi 2 Prime or the UU4. So that's all guys with the review of the Samsung Galaxy J2. So hope you like this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.